right, what's going on? Hold on a second. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your good old boy JR coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, it is Tuesday, which means it's another edition of the Silver and Bro Show, where I come in, recapping last week's game and getting talking about updates on the team and everything in between, and looking forward to the next week's matchup. So, without further ado, let's get this thing started. Here we go. Another week, another loss, and this one feels a little different. Not because it was a divisional matchup, not because they had a chance to win it, only because of the fact of the reaction now. What many Raider fans are starting to feel. Let's just get right into it. The Chargers obviously beat the Raiders 24-17 in a close. Well, it might have looked close, but the Raiders try to come back, and their efforts just felt a little too short. And and, and I 4 games to the season, already looking ahead of what's to come. Not because they deserve to win because we made the mistakes and we let them. Win, and that's just how it is. And not to take anything away from what the Chargers did, but they deserve to win that matchup. And because of our mistakes, we let them win. That's pretty much what it is. I can't tell you, how it has to feel frustrated. First of all, that offensive line. Um, I'm sorry. Luckily, there's some other luckily, the head coaches, aren't what the head coaches are used to be back in the day. To where if you had the performance like that, you would have to do, you know, 20 up downs for each sack that they gave up, and they gave up a total, I think, of 7, 8. And it would have been a lot of up downs. It would have definitely fed their legs to keep the Wolves hungry at the later. Also, due to the fact that, again, here we go. We practice all week. Jimmy's practicing. A lot of people are practicing, and kudos to Aiden O'Connell for doing Warman Swint. Yes, performance all around, they sucked. They're flat out pathetic. Offensively, defensively, the Raiders are just flat out pathetic. But that's not the issue. The issue to me, it goes way beyond that. It goes to the realm of post game conferences. And I'm tired of hearing, as a fan, I'm pretty sure, I can take last year's transcripts and, words that some of these players that were on the team last year, and I could put them this year. You couldn't tell the difference. You couldn't tell the difference, where players are saying, I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of losing. Well, you're the player. Do something about it. Change about it. I mean, what about it then? I'm hearing our star running back saying, I'm tired of losing. Do something about it then. I'm tired of hearing our star pass rusher saying, I'm tired of this shit. First of all, and this goes to everybody, that goes to everybody in the locker room. You don't know what tired is, guys. You don't know what tired is. Uh, Let me give you a little backstory here. I've been a fan since '96. I've been a fan of the Raiders since '96, and they don't deserve, or they don't have that right to say that they're tired of this shit. We as a fan base, we're tired of this shit because it's been a long time. The players, they've only been there for a few years, 4 years. You don't have that right to say you're tired. You're the player. Change something about it. Do something that can determine the outcome of how the team moves and everything. Don't don't talk to us about tired. You're tired. We've been suffering. You guys determine the outcome of this. And I guess all's gone your way. Were they a little pathetic? Yeah. Yeah. But if you're tired of losing, if you're tired of this, that's just deaf ears to me at this point. That's, those words don't mean shit to me anymore. They don't mean nothing to me. They don't mean nothing to a lot of fans anymore. I don't want to hear that fans money to the ridiculous amount of ticket prices that are there to see the same result every single time. You're tired? You don't even deserve the right to say that you're tired. None of you. That includes Devontae. That includes Josh Jacobs. That includes Max Crosby. That includes AJ Cole, Daniel Carlson, Colton Miller. It includes all of you guys. You guys just got here of, I don't know what you want to call it, disorganized, dysfunctional, for the better part of 20 years. And you want to sit up there with pouty faces saying you're tired? You're the player. You're the one with the captain on your chest. Do something about it or rip it off. Can't be tired after 4 games of this. You're tired because you're losing? Psh, please. That's one thing. And that's one thing. The other thing, I'm a man of patience. I'm a man of giving people chances. I'm a man of, seeing how it all plays out. But listening to Coach McDaniels throw his rookie quarterback that they handpicked him during the draft to throw him under the bus with this post-game conference. I've preached patience. I've preached giving people chances. But I think after Sunday, that's kind of where I drew the line. This is your team putting it all together, and you can't even take accountability on your actions yourself. Now I'll give credit to where credit's due. The defense played their asses off on Sunday. The Chargers didn't look like the explosive offense that I thought they were going to look. They were held to their lowest amount of yards. They held Justin Herbert really bad, but the offense just couldn't do it. The turnovers did it. The turnovers did it. And there was a lot of things in between, but the one thing was, despite getting sacked 6 times or 7 times, whatever it was, despite of the turnovers, he almost led this team to a comeback victory, to at least to try to tie the game. And yeah, you got your head coach up there wanting to talk about possibly, throwing him under the bus. I got star players who are moping around saying we got to figure it out. Well, you've been here for a while. You think you would figure it out by now. If not, then honestly, what are you guys here for? I've as a fan, I've seen our team win with worse. With names like Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, we should be able to compete. We should be able to be a competitive football team, because I've seen this team win with worse. I understand the frustration. I can't imagine, I can't imagine going to work, busting your ass 5 days a week. And then on Sunday, you have to put together performance for the hard work you did and you get embarrassed again. I'm sure it could get tiring, but in a regular job, guys, if you guys don't know, we have to perform every single day. We're there, or else we get cut. I understand that you guys are on a different clock than real world, but I don't want to hear this excuse, or I don't want to hear the whole, we have to figure this out. I'm sick of losing because, Raider fans like myself and family members that I know and friends that I know, we're not gonna. That's not good enough for us. That's not good enough for us. And I understand it could be coaching. It could be doesn't make it better. Is I have an owner who is yelling back at the fans, who is fighting back with the fans, to smarten up to. This is where we're at. This is where we're at as a fan base. We are divided in what we want. Me personally, I have preached patience, and I go always try to give coaches and everybody, time. But after the comments made on Sunday, I don't have time either. You guys got to figure it out, or we can go our ways because we've sucked before you and we still suck with you. No difference to me. As much as we love JJ, as much as we love Devontae, as much as we love Max, we sucked before you. We suck with you. I'm willing to rebuild again, and that's where I think I'm heading now, especially after the comments made by our head coach on Sunday, throwing his team under the bus. That and the sad part is the Denver Broncos. He was a head coach before with Denver. It took him 28 games. This will be game number 22 on Monday night, and it would people want change, and I get all that. People want to see the change and people want to hear about the change. The problem is, and people, I understand, the frustration of let's tank it. Let's just tank it so we can get Caleb Williams. The problem for me now is after hearing those comments, I wouldn't want anybody to come to the Raiders because that coaching staff, especially Josh McDaniels, would screw them up professionally, every way possible. Josh McDaniels will screw it up. I can't imagine spending all this money on the offense during the offseason and you can't even get over 20 points. Not one game. Not one regular season game can you get over 20 points. Embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And yet here we are. Here we go again. When is it going to change? I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where it's going to have to come from. If it ain't with this group, it could be with another group for all I care. And I'm at that point too where I've seen enough to know that this team is no good. I've seen enough. I've seen this enough to know that this team is no good. I've seen enough to know that this coaching staff is no good. And I've seen enough to know that this organization as a whole is not good enough. He's not. So for those fans, forget it. You're just wasting breath. However, firing Coach McDaniels and firing the coaching staff could be one step. Now, obviously, it's not going to come this year. It's probably going to be at the end of the year. And that's where I'm at with this. This is where I have to say that this is kind of where I'm at with the team as a whole. Right now, if the season were to end, we would be pick number 3. And that's the thing. We were pick number 7. We were pick number 7 last year, and we're gonna end up with another top pick again. And I know it's only 4 games, but I've seen football enough to know that this team is not good enough to turn it around. This team absolutely sucks. Right now, I don't think they can even beat Denver again. I don't think they can even beat Chicago, who hasn't even freaking again, Chicago, Minnesota, Carolina, and those teams haven't even won a game this year. And I don't even think they can beat those guys. And it sucks to be all negative here. I always try to find the positive, but there is no positive. There is no positive to this spin. This team is terrible. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it like some other guys, that, oh, this team just needs it. No, this team doesn't just need this and that. They suck. They flat out suck. With the amount of money I spent on season tickets and stuff and merchandise, I think I've earned enough to at least voice my honest opinion. They flat out suck. And talking to family and talking to everybody, me and my brother, we were talking after the game too, and he said, I don't think it was ever a Derek Carr issue. He wasn't the problem, and he wasn't the answer. That's all I can say about it. And I don't know why Derek Carr is still being brought up in Raider conversations. He's gone. Do you see what he's doing in New Orleans? Nothing. Just shocker, like he did nothing here. It's not a person problem. It's not a team problem. It is an organizational problem. It is a coaching staff problem. You've had 21 games to figure this out, and they look worse. They look worse. And it sucks. Sucks to say that. I love this team very much. I do. I care about this team. This is my team. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it like some of these other analysts do. People on the radio, other Raider podcasters and other Raider, YouTubers out there that try to sugarcoat stuff. They stink. It's okay to say that. At least I'm okay with it. But what I'm not going to put up with is these post-game conferences where the players are pouty, the coach threw the team under the bus, and the owner is telling us to smarten up. Guys, we're fighting within ourselves. It ain't working. The goal here is to see what they can do better. So from here on out, the expectations have to be low. If for whatever reason people thought this team was going to be a playoff team, you can go back to my article. I had the Raiders finishing 4th. I had no expectations for this team. But what I'm not going to tolerate is the poutiness. Superstars getting on their Instagram Live and going, oh, Raider Nation, you deserve better. Dude, we've been hearing that for 20 years. We don't deserve better. We deserve the fucking world for putting up with this. I don't want to hear it. You're the player. Do something about it. But organizational wise, the best move forward, finish out the year, don't know where else to go from here other than that. As an organization, just try your hardest the rest of the year. And it's not going to get better. I'll tell you that right now. Like I said, we played Chicago, we played Minnesota, two teams that haven't won a game. I don't think we can even beat those guys right now with the way they're playing. With the staff that we have, I don't think we can even beat those guys. You right now, as an organization and as a fan base, the only thing we want to see is, okay, out of the 53, who's really trying and who's here to collect a check. That's it. That's it. My wish list at this point, if it were going to come down to firing and doing a new staff, of course, the dream staff would be hiring probably Eric Bieniemy, getting Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy as the head coach, and maybe we get Arthur Smith as an offensive coordinator or something like that. But right now, it's too early to tell on what the direction of this thing is going because we're stuck with McDaniels and his staff for the rest of the year. Whether they come back or not next year, that's up to Mark Davis. That is up to Mark Davis to decide that factor. But what I do know is that we have a game on Monday Night Football, and it's against the Packers, who they took a little bit of a beating against Detroit. They have had time to rest. They have had time to heal up, and it is what it is. That's just the way the schedule worked out for them. It is what it is. My expectations for this game is very low, and that's very sad for me to say that. To be here talking about the Raiders and my expectations for them are low. I mean, I don't know how low a limbo bar can go, but that's the bar. That's the bar of my expectations for this team to come out and try to change anything. I will say this, though. If it were up to me, I would leave Aiden O'Connell the rest of the year. Whether Jimmy G is healthy or not, I rather because it's done. That whole Jimmy G honeymoon phase is over. It's done. It's good enough for me. Aiden at least because the thing is, when Jimmy G was in, nobody respected his arm, nobody respected his strength, so they stacked up the box. And poor Josh Jacobs with this porous offensive line. At least last week, he was able to get something going because they had to respect the arm of Aiden O'Connell. And that's even after the turnovers. They still had to respect the arm. But my expectations for this week are very, very, very low. To the point of, I don't even care if they win or lose. I just want to see what players are going to play their asses off. Which of the 53 are actually going to stand up and say, I'm tired of talking about it. Let's be about it. Where this goes is going to be very interesting because what got me was the excitement of Josh McDaniels on the sideline when we were trying to come back and win it. Screaming F yeah and everything like that. The only reason he was happy about anything last Sunday was because Aiden O'Connell on that offense saved his ass for 1 week. 1 week. And the Chargers tried to give the Raiders the game. They tried to give the Raiders, and they can't even do that. Win, lose, I don't care. I just want to see what players actually want to do something about it this week. So, what are the keys? Obviously the keys are this. Jordan Love, even after that bad performance on Thursday Night Football, he has been one of the brighter spots for Green Bay. They are moving the ball. He is moving that offense around. The defense is the defense. They're going to take what they get. They're just gonna have to. They're a reaction type of defense. They see it and they react to it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but they are just that type of defense. I think a cool note, an under note about this game is that um, if you're a Raider fan that is going to the game this Monday night, and as we all know, Rich Bisaccia is the special teams coach for the Green Bay Packers. Um, I don't think, as a fan base, we truly got to say thank you to him for when he took over the team when John Gruden resigned, and we all know how that went. Um, he took over that team and he drove us into the playoffs and everything. And, it was very, I appreciate Rich on a time that, I think we didn't get to say a proper goodbye to him. So if you're a Raider fan going to the game Monday Night Football, I think it's only right when he does come out to give him a standing ovation for what he did for that team in that short amount of time. I know I'll be happy to see him. And it sucks that it didn't work out in his favor, that he didn't get the head coaching job. But I'm very happy, and I was very, I want to appreciate for what he did for us in that short amount of time. Because that was not easy. So any Raider fan that goes, just show your love to Rich Bisaccia and everything. And I hope he gets a standing ovation because he deserves that much for the situation he was put in. And so I think that lastly, I think for me, it really does depend on who the quarterback is. If Josh McDaniels puts Jimmy G or Brian Hoyer in, I think it's very telling that they're ready to give up on the season, and I'm okay with that. It's just I don't want to head into this next season with this coaching staff because whoever we bring in, they are going to screw the kid up because I have no faith that this man can coach. I think he can coach X's and O's and he can explain X's and O's and tell players where to be and how to be and everything. But as far as being a team cap, being that guy, being a head coach, it's more than that. It's more than X's and O's. I think it's a people thing. It's an understanding of people, of emotions and character and all that stuff. And I don't think he's got the gall to do that. He doesn't even have the gall to take accountability on Sunday. After Sunday, he showed me what kind of person he was, and I really hope it doesn't even matter if we draft Caleb Williams, Drake May, or whoever. It wouldn't matter because he will screw it up royally. So I think for me, the key is not even about key points of the game. It's really to see what players want to stand up and actually want to make a difference on this team. Because if not, I'm okay. Like I said, we won with worse. We won with less superstars on the team before. So that's fine with me. So we'll see how it goes. But other than that, that's going to do it today. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, please subscribe to the channel at the Jack's Wild Sports Show. Always check us out on Instagram Live at All Sports Talk Podcast. I will be back tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with me and my buddy Brandon, where we're going to give our Week 5 predictions. I know it's already Week 5. I know it. And we're going to predict on who we think is going to win. So until then, I want everybody to have a good night. Please subscribe to the channel. And as always, go Raiders. And then I guess I'll see you guys on Monday Night Football. Take care.